And last but not least, we have a series of new information on the SIG P320, and of course, SIG keeps digging a hole for themselves when it comes to this. So first and foremost, there have been a couple of new videos running around, one specifically showing what's supposed to be a P320 being appendix carried, going off in its holster, uncommanded, with predictable results, unfortunately. But I'm more interested in a couple of other pieces of news that have been floating around. First off, the FBI did a report back in 2024 from a P320 that had a uncommanded discharge and was actually sealed up and sent to the FBI for testing and analysis. Let's take a look at some of the conclusions from that particular report. Quoting here, a reliable test could not be developed at the time of this document to test the effectiveness of the secondary sear notch. However, testing did indicate with movement representing those common to a law enforcement officer, it is possible to render the striker safety lock inoperable and ineffective at preventing the striker from impacting a chambered round if complete sear engagement is lost. It is important to note that the striker safety lock, by design, is the last line to prevent an unintended discharge, as it is in place to protect against a secondary sear notch override. Yikes. So, is this a completely damning report? In fairness, not entirely, but it is interesting that yet again, we have another test from a reputable source saying that, hey, the P320 has issues. And ultimately, I don't think that this is a problem now with the P320. I think the far bigger issue is SIG's response to it. They have denied, 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 denied. And that, I think, is the problem. I want SIG to be the company that I remember them for. I want them to make good products, make reliable products, and have people like them again. I don't want to see them crash and burn. So for anyone thinking that this is just unmitigated SIG hate, it's not. But on the other hand, I can't condone it when a large firearms manufacturer goes out there and tries to gaslight the general public about the safety and efficacy of their firearm. Honestly, if they had just gotten ahead of this much sooner and said, hey, there's a potential issue if you do X, Y, and Z, the whole narrative around this thing would be completely different. But I really don't want to bang on too much more about the SIG P320 issues, other than to say that SIG has apparently lost yet another big contract. According to Protraband, in his reporting, ICE has completely dropped the P320 in favor of the Glock 19 MOS with a red dot sight as their standard sidearm now. So, I hate to say it, SIG, but you're bleeding contracts for a reason. People are losing trust, and that means sooner or later, government agencies are going to start really, really closely evaluating this and start dropping your pistol. Just because you have that military contract doesn't mean you're going to keep all of the other contracts forever. These other agencies are independent agencies and will drop you if they don't have confidence in your firearm. So, I mean, it's honestly just sad for me to see this. I really want to like the SIG P250 and P320. Conceptually, they are incredibly interesting designs, allowing for modularity and caliber swaps without having to do a whole lot of complicated gunsmithing work after the fact. That should be a cool idea, and I think it is. It's just, apparently SIG has executed on that poorly and then backed it up with even poorer marketing decisions. So, Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the P320 debacle as it stands in the comment section below.